And after the State of the State address, Idaho lawmakers will really get to work. On the Capitol Watch now, there is a long list of goals and topics for them to tackle. Chief Political Reporter Joe Paris joins us now. So, Joe, you were able to talk to some of the leadership today. What are major topics lawmakers are looking at now heading into Monday?
Well, Doug, property taxes, infrastructure, the economy, those are big ones for sure. Of course, there will also be a lot of attention on education. And we saw a lot of campaigning on that front in 2022. So now those who ran for office and they made promises or they projected goals for their constituents, well, they're going to have to get to work on that education now. In a national and local conversation in education, it centers on school choice, parental choice. And we've heard from Republican lawmakers in Idaho about the concept of fund students, not systems. Democrats have expressed concerns about the idea, their opinion saying that public dollars should not be going to private institutions through programs like school vouchers. Some GOP members agree. Others say they're open to exploring options.
I'm very concerned about all of this talk about school vouchers, which would siphon funds away from public schools to private schools where there's no accountability and no oversight, and we can't as taxpayers make sure that those children are getting what they need to succeed. And I'm even more concerned in this era where our public and charter schools we fund with public dollars aren't getting the funds they need.
I think what our focus on education is going to be is less on the facilities and current systems and more on workforce development. I think that's where we're finding a shortcoming, and we had done some town halls around the state earlier or at the end of last year to try to figure out what business is needed for a workforce. And so I would look for some more targeted education investment when it comes to workforce development. I think that that is going to be more of a focus this year.
So we'll see how this all plays out and what ideas are out there. This should be an interesting dynamic at the legislature this year because there are so many new faces. There are technically 40 people that are in new roles over at the Idaho State House, and because of redistricting, that's why we saw so many new faces. So, Doug, when I talk with lawmakers, Republicans and Democrats, they say they are excited for new blood and possibly new ideas.
Yep, and we heard Dr. Witt talking about those 40 new faces as well and the possible impact they could all have. Joe, it is going to be an interesting session. Education, just one of the major issues we'll be talking about a lot over the next 3 or 4 months.